Niger Coup complicates routes for European airlines across Africa as the closure of Niger's airspace by its military government impacts travel times for flights across the continent. The recent coup in Niger has complicated air travel routes for European airlines across Africa as the country's military government closed its airspace. This disruption is impacting flights and causing detours for carriers operating in the region. The military government's decision to close the airspace came in response to the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, setting a deadline for the reinstatement of the ousted President Mohamed Bazoum. With the threat of military intervention looming, the situation has led to further complications for airlines flying across Africa. European carriers have reported disruptions and suspended flights across the continent. Air France, for example, has temporarily suspended flights to and from Burkina Faso and Mali until August 11. Longer flight times are expected in the West African region as airlines are forced to find alternative routes. Tracking service Flight Radar 24 noted that the closure of Niger's airspace has significantly expanded the area where most commercial flights between Europe and Southern Africa cannot fly, adding to the existing geopolitical disruptions in other African airspace, such as Libya and Sudan. Some flights are now facing up to 1,000 kilometers (620 miles) in detours. While the closure of Niger's airspace poses challenges for flights between Europe and countries in southern Africa, the impact is expected to be limited due to the relatively small number of African air connections. However, aviation analysts warn that routes from Europe to Nigeria, South Africa, and from the Gulf to Ethiopia to West Africa may be affected. British Airways has also acknowledged the disruption and apologized to affected customers. The airline is working diligently to get passengers back on their way as quickly as possible. Overall, the situation poses challenges for airlines operating in the region, and they are navigating alternative routes to minimize disruptions and delays.